There will be no shortage of nerves in the Australian dressing room. 7 of the starting 13 are rookies. The New Zealanders, they have the experience. Can they put it together on the park for 80 minutes to cause another one of their famous upsets? The Australians, 7 rookies in the 13 that will run on, 11 in the 17-man squad. Only 88 tests between them. That's throwing in 2 that Solomon Kaumono played for Tonga. Glenn Lazarus, a lot will depend on the experience for Lazarus, Langer, Daly, Ettinghausen. These players have been deprived of playing Test football since 1994. They'll be keen to make up for it tonight. They have the home ground advantage, Australia. They cannot rely on that alone. They need to put it together. And Laurie Daly leads them out onto the Sydney Football Stadium to the roar of the home crowd. Nice night for it. The rain staying away for the moment. Perfect conditions, really. And the Australian flags are flying. Peachy, Saylor, Girdler, Ettinghausen, Davis, Daly and Langer in the backs. Cow, Gower, Lazarus, Ferner, Thorne and Smith. That's Darren Smith. The coach, another debutant, Johnny Lang. They may lack experience, but they are certainly in form. Stephen Kearney, a big night for him, leading his country for only the 2nd time. Halligan back in the Kiwi colours. Speaking of Kiwi colours, they have a new strip here tonight. They haven't beaten Australia since 1991 in Melbourne. 3 wins in the 80s, and they were all upsets. 83 in Brisbane, 85 in Auckland, 87 in Brisbane. They've won just 3 of the past 19 tests against the Aussies. Can they start to reverse that trend tonight? Well, they've been building for some time. 5 wins from 5 against Papua New Guinea and Great Britain late last year. But this one is the ultimate test for the Kiwis of New Zealand. Together, they've played 187 test matches. Twice as many as the Australians. But at the end of 80 minutes, it won't mean a great deal if they're behind on the score sheet. They're without Matthew Ridge. So it's Barnett at fullback, Halligan, Timu, Wiki, Hoppy, Namu and Jones. In the forwards, Pongia, only 2nd match back from suspension. Eru, Young, Kearney, the captain. Tony Iro is over the leg injury. Nikau back in Kiwi colours after a break of a few years. The coach is Frank Endicott. And Frank's record since taking over in 94, 15 tests, 10 wins and 1 draw. The 4 losses all to Australia. Desperate for a win against the old foe tonight is Frank Endicott. Now we pause for the ode on Anzac Day 1997.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, around Australia today in every town and city, our veterans remembered and commemorated. And it was mindful of the last words of a dying young Australian in a trench at Passchendaele in 1917 when he said, "At least in Australia, they will remember them." So please join me as I recite the ode. They shall grow not old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them, lest we forget. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
So the Anzac spirit is alive and kicking. So too is Trans-Tasman's sporting rivalry. And that's what we're about to see here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Australian captain Laurie Daly. Kiwi skipper Stephen Kearney, a wry smile on his face there as he eyeballed his opposite captain. Now it's time for the anthems, the Australian to be sung by Genevieve Davis, the New Zealand anthem to be sung by Mark Williams.
At thy feet, in the bonds of love we meet. Hear our voices, we entreat. God defend our free land. God Pacific's triple star from the shafts of strife and war. Make her praises heard afar. God defend New Zealand.
Mark Williams, one of the many expat Kiwis domiciled in Sydney nowadays. Now the Australian anthem with Genevieve Davis.
Australians all, let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, all beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia
Great performance by Genevieve Davis. It has really got the crowd fired up. Wally Lewis, I notice that you're drying the palms a little sweaty there. Do you think you're just about ready to run out there yourself?
Oh, I think anybody that turns up for these test matches gets 10 foot tall and bulletproof just before kick-off time. The common sense has got to start to play a little bit of a remembrance in it, though, and work out the body's about 40 years too old for this.
What about this, Gary Freeman?
Yeah, I tell you,
The haka.
this is really emotional, this sort of stuff here. When the boys all do this, the heart starts pounding. And like Wally said, I'm a little bit past it myself, but I love to be out there.
Well, the Kiwis who've started the challenge, now they have to go on with it for 80 minutes. I mentioned before that the Australians have played about 88 test matches between them. Well, here's an interesting statistic for you. Our three game experts tonight have all played 90 tests between them. 46 for Gary Freeman, equaling the world record. Wally Lewis, 33, and Peter Jackson, 11. Stuart Cummings from Widnes is the referee. We're underway. The inaugural Super League test, Australia versus New Zealand. Let's go sideline to Peter Jackson. What about conditions, Jacko?
Absolutely perfect night for football down here, Greg. No wind to speak of at all. The ground is a little bit breezy, but only enough to being annoying. Should be a great game, and I did bring my boots with me.
And who are you tipping?
Of course, I'm tipping Australia.
It's Nikau, about 25 out from his own line. They've met 76 times in test matches. Australia dominating with 54 wins. New Zealand have won 21. There was one draw, Grant Young, and it's going to be players like Young that's going to have to really set the platform for New Zealand.
Yeah, they certainly have to set the platform, but again, it's that kicking game, what we spoke about before the game. Gene Nana there putting the ball out on the full. They've got to set up a lot better than that and give Gene some time.
Yeah, they've got to understand that something earlier in the game that the Australians will place a lot of concentration on is chasing that kicker from marking position. They've got to come up with a couple of options.
Brad Thorne will play it. Great opportunity here for Australia. Lazarus, expect plenty of this from the big man. On the 20-metre mark, they're inside the Kiwi red zone. Now it's Langer working to the right. There's the step from Ferner. He's dropped the football. The scrum will pack down. Missed opportunity for the Australians because they had great field position.
Well, it really did look like quite a simple error, didn't it? But you mentioned it, field position, and that's something that will be worked on very hard tonight.
Callaghan. Wasn't a great opening set of 6 by the Kiwis, and there's a big shoulder charge from Thorne on Iro. Now it's Kearney. I'm told he's been playing the last few weeks with a broken hand, but he's okay now. Penalty.
Roll away off him. Roll away off him. Penalty there. It's a push.
Well, the big question was just how well would Stuart Cummings, the Englishman, control the rucks.
Yes, I've got to agree with you on that point. It's something that Super League really have done first class this year. It's made sure that their referees have worked to the one rule of speeding the game up.
Come on, make the 10.
Good yards there made by Grant Young. That's the sort of yards the forwards have to make.
Jones goes wide to his captain, Kearney. Looked to offload, couldn't get the pass away. 10 metres inside Australian territory. Now it's Nikau. The back 3 in the pack for the Kiwis will be ranging wide all night. They're all ball playing and hard running back rowers. Double round. Here's Iro. The inside pass now to Ruben Wiki. And the Canberra Raider knocked over 15 inside Australian territory. Young with another hit up in this set of 6. And he's lost the ball. Tried to force the pass. It didn't come off. Mistake by the front rower. Australia come away with it. And Rodney Howe. What a night for him and for the Perth Reds. An Australian representative in the run-on team. Good run by Nagus. They've got a bit of a roll on now, the Australians. Catching the Kiwis napping out wide. Gower, the 18-year-old, 10 metres inside New Zealand territory. Langer goes wide to his skipper Daly. They keep it alive and it's Ferner. The Kiwi defensive line moved up well on that occasion. The lock forward. Darren Smith, 28 years of age, making his debut for his country. Langer. Kicking across the face of the goal, testing Barnett early on. He took it well in goal, and he'll be taken a couple of metres out.
That's a pretty ordinary kick by Alfie, no pressure at all.
Plenty of time for Barnett to gather that ball in. Now it's Halligan, ducked under a high one from Thorne. Play on. 10 out from their own line. The early pressure has been on the New Zealanders.
I think the referee's going to start having to get that whistle going a little bit at the moment. You know, it might be the Australians that get penalised, but they're getting just a little bit of a head start on these rucks, around about 2 metres in front of him by the time the ball's played.
It's good to see that the Australians did pick that up, especially from the sideline there, Wally.
Peachy, first touch in Test football for the Cronulla Shark. Celebrated his 23rd birthday this week. What a week. Wendell Saylor, he'll be a real handful tonight. He's about 5 metres inside New Zealand territory. 0-0 the score. They're hitting the line pretty well, the Australians. No way through the Kiwi defence yet. Here's Thorne, New Zealand born. But that doesn't mean much when he runs into his fellow countrymen.
He might have got a bit of a reminder from his countrymen there.
There's a step from Ferner again. He couldn't get away from Nick Cowan, also Tony Iro. 30 out from the New Zealand line. Langer, the playmaker, to Daly. Daly stepping. The defence got up pretty quickly. Eddingshausen. They're going nowhere at the moment, the Australians. Now it's Daly. The bomb. Taken late, Daly, but it's play on. Barnett, again, no real pressure on him, Jacko, and a good return of the football by the fullback.
Yeah, another pretty ordinary kick by Laurie Daly. This fella is a fantastic footballer, Richard Barnett. I've seen him play for years for Cronulla. He is a star.
Well, it was called a pretty ordinary kick, but it was the chasing team that I thought was worse. They had one chaser out of the whole team. He had the opportunity of running the ball back, Barnett, of around about 10 or 15 metres before he came across that second defender.
Jones at dummy half. Kearney, time in the own half. Look at that. New Zealand have been in their own half 89% of the time so far. That's a worrying statistic early on in a test match, but it's still 0-all the score. Now it's Namu. Got the dummy working, got it inside to Halligan. This is better stuff from the men in black. 35 out from the Australian line. Young at dummy half. Nikau stepping on the inside, turning in the tackle. Got it back to Jones. The halfback, the long ball over to Halligan. There's a chance here for New Zealand, but Halligan didn't realise that his Canterbury teammate Timu was ranging up on the outside. Now it's Jones. Their best attacking opportunity so far, New Zealand, but no pressure on Peachy. He takes it on the full. End goal. We'll have a restart back on the 20.
Well, I tell you what, if the game keeps going at this speed, they're going to have 34 very tired footballers at the end of this first 40 minutes, let alone the end of the game. But one thing that they need to do just a little bit better as we see the replay of that kick. There was a very good shepherding coming under the post there. We saw one of the Kiwi guys hit the floor. Obviously not bad enough to warrant a penalty. But they're doing it fairly well, the Kiwis, making good yardage in the territory up the middle.
Yeah, just quickly on that kick, probably Stacey Jones could have let it go a little bit wider. The Australians weren't moving up.
Now it's Australia. 30 out from their own line. Plenty of black jumpers in there on defence. Now it's Thorne. Changes his angle a little bit, but couldn't find the gap. Gower steals 10 metres. They're inside New Zealand territory. Final tackle coming up. Langer, this time, he goes for touch and finds it. Gets a pretty good bounce.
Yeah, I think just slowing the game up a little bit there, Alfie, just trying to get the ball over the line here. You see him, he goes to the line. Just a little bit of a lucky bounce here. Bounces about a foot inside. You see Wendell Saylor clapping that the kick went out. As Wally was saying, the game is going at a frantic pace.
The Australians have had to make 44 tackles compared to New Zealand's 34. First man in the blood bin is Quentin Pongia.
That's something different. He's usually putting people in the blood bin.
Oh, come on, Jack. I don't think so. I think he's played pretty strong, coming back only for his second game and coming straight into a test match.
No, you're right, Gary. They've turned up ready to play tonight, the Kiwis. They're committed. Their defence is solid, and Australia haven't looked like making a break yet.
It's been a reasonable night for New Zealand as well in the under-19 test. The New Zealanders won 17-16, a real cliffhanger. So Frank Endicott's been looking to make it a double here. 20 out from their own line. Namu getting it out to Wiki. He's taken Nagus and Girdler in there. Now it's Hoppy. 24th test, Sean Hoppy. The most capped player in this New Zealand team. Young. Well, he's been going forward early on, Grant Young.
It's a thing that I'm sure his coach will be very happy about. A lot of people believe that there was going to be one small deficiency in the Kiwi lineup up front. It was that Young may just not be of the same talent of his opponents, but probably more than any other player in the field at the moment has been responsible for making territory.
Well, it hit the corner flag. That means that it's into touch in goal.
A little bit unlucky there for Stacey Jones. It was a great kick. Just a little bit a yard too short.
Well, it's the Australians now. 20 from halfway. Rodney Howe picks up.
And what a year
Another 10.
What a season this kid's had so far. I mean, if he doesn't make 10 metres every time he gets the ball, you've got to start wondering what's going wrong.
Come with me, see, come on.
They're on the halfway mark. Daly stepping. Got the inside pass to Smith. The cover read it though. But it was a good move by Daly. Starting to run Daly. Now he finds Girdler. The inside pass to Nagus. Nagus got to Barnett. Barnett tackled him. 10 out from the line. They need to go wide. Langer. Daly. Daly kicking in behind the line. There's a chance. It's going to beat everybody though. Halligan was struggling. E.T. was flying. But the ball has got over the dead ball line. We'll have a restart back on the 20.
Yeah, I think Laurie might be a little bit critical of himself with this one. He probably had the chance to just lob it over a bit smaller into the gap between the halfback coming across in cover and also Daryl Halligan. An opportunity gone begging, but some excellent work from the Kiwi defence on that occasion. Their slide defence is working very well.
Excellent work there by Daryl Halligan to accidentally hold E.T. for trying to get the ball.
Very accidentally.
Move, out of there.
0-all the score. Iro. Good run.
3, come on. Make it here.
Young. Plenty of hit-ups by the big front row so far. Here's another penalty.
Alan, nothing malicious when you go over the shoulder.
He's called nothing malicious in the tackle. He just went over the top a little bit, which, gee, for a bloke like Grant Young, it's almost as if Alpha's got to stand on a step ladder to get up there.
That's right, take it.
Kiwis. 2-0 in the penalty count. Wagner is on there, wearing number 19. In the program he was listed as 14. He probably couldn't fit into the jersey. Now it's Kearney, right in front of the uprights, about 12 metres out. Eru at dummy half, switch of play. Namu gets it back to Stacey Jones. Penalty.
No, you leave him alone. You played the ball, you pulled him back. Leave him alone.
Well, that's a terrible mistake by New Zealand. They were in possession and they have given away a penalty for an infringement after the play the ball.
Okay, mate.
Yeah, I think it was Stephen Kearney there, Gary.
Yeah, Steve Kearney just walking forward and grabbing Brad Thorne and Alfie. And giving away, you see a bit of push and shove there. Nothing much in it, but might be too happy with himself there, Steve.
Particularly the area of the field they were in, just 10 metres out from the try line.
And they'd set up a play to try and
Make
bust the Australians open.
Tell you what, there was a big hole there too.
10 from halfway. Lazarus.
3, out of there.
Taken by Kearney over the top. Eru underneath. Gower at dummy half to Langer. Daly looking to switch. They're a bit flat-footed, the Australians. Now Gower gets the step going. He goes forward. Matt Adamson standing by to come on to taste a bit of test football for the first time. The inside pass from Daly goes to Smith in the headgear. And Darren Smith is knocked over about 15 inside New Zealand territory. Final tackle coming up. The grubber kick from Alan Langer. He keeps it on the toe. It's been touched by New Zealand. Chance here for Australia. Langer is tackled. But they've got another set of 6. No need to panic.
Great defence there, Richard Barnett.
Eddinghausen plays it back to Langer. They go forward through Howe. He's about 8 metres out. The Aussies looking to put first points on the board. Thurner got the pass back. Peachy's up from fullback. Couldn't offload to Sailor. 5 metres out. It's been touched by New Zealand. They've got it back. I don't know how they did that. So now the Australians have given up possession in a pretty good position.
Well, it was a terrible play the ball from David Peachy. That's how they gave up possession. Absolutely shocking. Have a look at that. Kicking.
But that really is a penalty. He has picked the ball up in the ruck area. The ruck area stands between the place the ball is supposed to be played and the area where the marker is standing. You can't pick the ball up in that area. But they've been very lucky to get away with it, but their defence was probably something that credited them. They did extremely well to get away from there.
Nick Cow. Couple of metres inside Australian territory. Final tackle coming up now for the New Zealanders.
Get out of it.
Namu, the grubber kick. Got it in behind Nagus. He picks it up a couple out from his own line. Got Peachy with him. Gets it to Peachy. Bit of room to move. But he's taken by Sid Eru. Daly looking for the runners. Giving Wendell Sailor a touch out wide. Takes 3 of them to bring him down. Time in possession. New Zealand dominating, but only just 52-48 in their own half. New Zealand have been down there 68%, so they're starting to correct that stat. 9 from halfway now, Australia. And Gower plays it. Langer at dummy half. Short ball to Thurner. Langer. Daly. Lazarus on the inside run. Final tackle coming up. Langer is in a dummy half. Running it. Now the grubber kick into the corner. Halligan is back there. The chasers are there as well. And Halligan just manages to get into the field of play. Hoppy, the right winger, relieving his forwards. Good defence though by the Australians. Now it's Barnett. They're standing flat-footed. Kearney does something about it. Bumped out of one tackle. Namu. Wiki. He's tackled 20 from halfway. Nikau Sideru steals 10 metres. Final tackle coming up. Vangana wipes the sweat from the brow. There's the kick by Jones, and he is going to find touch about 12 or 13 metres out from the Australian line.
And he gets plenty of applause from the general public here in the ground, but I think the applause from the players on both sides would be twice as loud. They're finally going to get themselves a break in the game. A cleverly plotted kick in between the winger and fullback. He's gained them around about 30 metres, but you can just see every face on that field at the moment. The jerseys are already very rich in lather of the sweat that they've got. We're coming into a situation where we're almost getting up to 18 minutes into the game. Missed tackles, having not really played an expensive part in the game at the moment.
That good centre six really comes back to Darryl Halligan getting out of his in goal up the back of the field there. And if it wasn't for him getting out, we'd be up the other end with a drop kick.
Been a lot of talk about the intensity in this match, what it would be like. Your thoughts, Peter Jackson?
Well, I think it's his toughest game as I've seen. As Wally said, it's been played at a frenetic pace. Both sides ripping in. I'd like to see Australia run in numbers a little bit more. They're a little bit one out. So New Zealand are able to gang tackle them and slow down their play ball. That's a great offload from Lazo.
Back to Peachy. Bounced out of a couple. Needs to link up with the support. But he's been thrown into the turf on the halfway mark by Wiki. Now it's Thorne. A little flat-footed when he took that. Didn't really have any momentum going. They go wide, and Rodney Howe, well, he only knows one way to go, and that's straight ahead. Garrett dummy half. He kicks, looking for touch and finding it, so they'll get another breather. 20 out from the New Zealand line.
Well, they get a breather out of it. I'm not sure what the other guys feel, but to me, they're not really attacking kicks. They're putting the ball into touch. If they're looking for a breather, well, then fine, get that going. But to me, we've got to try and look to, or for the Australians, they've got to try and look to put the ball as deep as possible, perhaps try and trap them in goal, running the ball out, or conversely put it up as high as they possibly can and put enormous amounts of pressure on the ball catcher.
Well, I agree with you there, Wally, but the only problem is that I think both sides are pretty tired and not too happy about chasing the ball. They'd rather the ball go on the outline, that's for sure.
Pongia back from the blood bin. 38 out from his own line. 0-0 at the Sydney Football Stadium. Who will crack first? The first ever Super League test, Australia versus New Zealand. Jones, Nick Cow. Now it's Pongia. Hero waits for it. Final tackle on the way. Namu. Over the head of Nagas. It came off an Australian, but he did not play that ball, Daly. So it's going to be an Australian feed into the scrum.
He came out with a pretty classic quote just before that kick. There it is, ricocheting off Daly's head. But not as expensive as it was this time last year, where it would have been a Kiwi feed. But you made the statement, who was going to crack first? Gee, that's the way the game is at the moment. A few years ago, you'd wonder who was the fellow that was going to either do a little chip kick or be able to outspeed the defence or whatever. Now, it seems that the fellows are out there, they've almost got to be superhuman fitness level, just to hope that they can really match it against the guy they're lining up against.
Well, it's about mistakes now, isn't it, Wally? I mean, Australia got to make sure they hold the ball down their end and vice versa for the Kiwis. First side to make a mistake will pay.
Nagas with a good run from the scrum. 32 out from his own line. Eddingshausen taken by his Cronulla teammate Nikau. Howe makes it to the halfway. Saylor looking for a bit of action. That left arm heavily strapped. Wendell has tackled 10 metres inside New Zealand territory. Daly, the inside pass. Ferner out of one. He's got support on the inside. He won't need it. What a dummy by Ferner. The New Zealanders crack first. Australia get the first points on the board. David Ferner has done it. 4 points to 0. Australia over New Zealand. They fell off the tackle, the New Zealanders, and they had to pay for it.
Slide defence, the only way you're going to get through on that occasion. A very good angle coming through. There he is, Laurie Daly running across, trying to take the two defenders across to drop the ball on the inside. David Furner taking the hole, straightening up. Take the line now. This is marvellous work. There was probably just enough defenders to match it for the Kiwis. A very smart decision to throw a dummy there, Gary.
Yeah, it certainly was, but Laurie Daly going across. Everyone starts sliding before they go up. You see Grant Young just gets caught. Dave Furner kind of steps around off his right foot there. Steve Kearney a little bit unlucky to miss that tackle. And when he gets through the gap, there's a couple other Australian players that we see now just backing up. And Richie Barnett takes the dummy, and what can you do? I thought Stacey Jones did a great job here in trying to hold the big fella up. Just wasn't big enough there, but did a magnificent job of trying to stop that try.
Yeah, he had another 2 or 3 metres. He possibly could have...
I think we would have put them up easy.
Put his legs underneath him to hold the ball up, but a great work. Second row was throwing dummies. A few years ago, they used to put those two together in different ways.
Oh, what a magnificent season Girdler is having. Started his test match with a percentage of 92. He adds the extra 2, 6 points to 0, Australia over New Zealand. The try to David Furner converted by Ryan Girdler. So he's off to a positive start in his test career as far as point scoring goes, Girdler.
Greg, I was going to say last Monday out at Penrith, a lot of the Brisbane fans weren't too happy to see Ryan Girdler walk up to that ball the last time he kicked for goal with a record of 92%. It looks like he's about to continue it here tonight.
And he was 3 goals all year. That's an amazing effort. So now it's New Zealand. And Vangana driven back in the tackle. Big Joe. Young. That was a great tackle.
Yeah, it was a great tackle. There's something, a mistake that New Zealand wouldn't be looking for, that's for sure, especially in this area.
There it is, the ball just being jolted. He did quite well to hang on to it for a while, but contact with the ground pushed it aside. But to Gary, they're the sorts of simple mistakes that really can become very expensive in Test match football.
Sailor! 25 out from the line. The Australians looking to ram home the advantage now. This is Thorne with a bullocking run. The second rower is about 11 metres out from the line. Langer waits for it at dummy half. Real pressure on the Kiwis inside their own red zone. Lazarus, the big man, stepping his way through. I think it was a sidestep by Lazarus.
They're not supposed to have one.
Now it's Gower. Gower getting very close. He's a metre out from the line. Langer again at dummy half. They go wide. Furner looking for a double. He's got it. Oh, great stuff, David Furner.
Well, some of the Kiwi guys are standing around the goalposts here. They're absolutely shattered. There's about 5 or 6 of them, and so they should be. A simple error really has taken away from 25 minutes of great football. The defence moved up probably just a little bit too quickly on that occasion. Again, David Furner's fend. He really has skills that didn't used to be associated with forwards.
Yeah, well, I don't know about the big fend there, but he did use half of his body weight on G Namu, but probably the play of the day there was Alfie getting the ball out nice and wide, so he gave him some room to step in. Big man on little man, they're always going to win 9 times out of 10.
That one mistake, but it's become expensive.
As you said, Wally, the Kiwis are defended absolutely sensational for the first probably 25 minutes of this game, and 2 missed tackles and 2 quick tries.
Well, that's all it's been, hasn't it? 2 missed tackles, one by Gene Namu and one by their captain, Stephen Kearney, and 2 tries to David Furner. But you Kiwis, Gary, you always thought tackle was something you take fishing with you.
I think the boys can bounce back, that's for sure, Jacko. But as you were saying, mate, only 2 missed tackles. I think we can still turn things around.
Girdler. About 6 metres in from the far touch. Looking to make it 12-0. Well, it's waved away. A rare miss by Ryan Girdler. But still a handy scoreline for the Australians, 10 points to 0. Less than 15 minutes remaining in the first half.
And really a golden choice too for Coach John Lang, Australian coach John Lang on that occasion, deciding that he'll give his players a little bit of a rest now. He's given the opportunity to Matthew Adamson, who'll come on, and Gary, he's going to be a guy that's quite keen to go out there and make sure that these next set of 6 tackles, he keeps the Kiwis as deep in that territory as he possibly can.
Yeah, Matthew Adamson coming from the Penrith Club, of course. He's had a great season this year, and to be rewarded with an Australian jersey, he'll be really pumped up to have a big first 15 minutes of this half.
Young taken by Furner. Pongia is back on there. This test match being played under international rules, which means they can have 6 interchanges. It is not unlimited interchange like the Telstra Cup. Kearney lost the football. Penalty.
Hey, Stephen, that might be misconstrued, you know what I mean? Hey?
Well, it did look like one of the Australians were going in there to try and rip the ball away. Slow motion, of course, makes us always experts. But, gee, given it at normal speed, it really did look like the Australians illegally ripped that ball out.
I'll tell you what, the referee's having a good game. I haven't noticed him so far.
That's how you used to like it, didn't you, Jacko?
I thought you'd give him a hand. You're always trying to give referees a hand when you're playing.
Who got sent off in their last test?
Now. Nikau. 20 out from the line. New Zealand pretty desperate to get some points on the board. Namu to Jones. He has to take the tackle. Adamson in there over the top. Underneath was Howe. Now it's Iro. Final tackle coming up. Namu goes to the air. Pressure on Peachy. Lying loose on the ground. Penalty Australia. The man was taken out.
Man out of any intentional, but you stopped him from catching it. Push. Get him onside.
It's pretty well placed.
It was excellently placed, the bomb. I thought, if anything, the penalty could have gone the other way around. We had Laurie Daly coming across, trying to shift them. And there, maybe it was the two fellows. They did look to be watching the ball. So the bounce of the ball not going with the Kiwis at the moment. One simple error there could have put them right back into the match.
Yeah, well, they're only 10 points behind. There's nearly 51 minutes to go in the game, so there's no need for panic, that's for sure.
Adamson. Langer. Wide to Daly. They miss out Smith and pick up Girdler. Girdler got the inside pass to Nagus. Well done, but the cover was there. Wiki and Hoppy gathered him in. Daly, Lazarus, about 25 out from the New Zealand line. So now the tide has turned. It's now the New Zealanders under a bit of pressure again. Daly, the short pass to Adamson. He's got Saylor unmarked. Saylor will score. Wendell Saylor, his first try for his country. Only his second test match after he made his debut in 1994 at Wembley. And the Brisbane Bronco goes across untouched. And Australia looking good. 14 points to 0.
Well, here comes the replay. A simple ball going out to Laurie Daly. Ran into it marvellously into the hole. Wendell Saylor did quite well there, but Matt Adamson, he'll remember that first touch out in the back line. Saylor already got the big giggle on his face, and why shouldn't he, scoring a try in test match football?
Yeah, once again, they've got New Zealand on that left-hand side of the field there, but Laurie just going to the line, and Matty Adamson run into a beautiful hole between Halligan, and of course, Wendell Saylor just cuts back on the inside there, and Stacey Jones and Richie Barnett really having no chance whatsoever to stop the big fella going over underneath the post.
Greg G, that's twice now that it's cost the Kiwis very much. Like, we were a little bit wondering whether it should have been a penalty down the other end of the field. One simple error or bit of bad luck, as though it looked like, and it's 6 points further on the board.
Well, they look a shattered team at the moment in goal.
Well, I don't think they look shattered, Greg. I think they're just a little bit concerned that it's only going to be probably 16 points on the board, and like I've already said, there's 40-odd minutes to go in the game. There's still no need to start throwing the ball around, do anything crazy. You just got to control the ball and try and pin Australia down their own 25.
Girdler from in front. He doesn't miss them from there. Plenty for the Australian fans to cheer about here. 16 points to 0. Jacko, great stuff, Australia.
Yeah, the simple fact is they had 4 on 3 Australians. They stop it right there. See John Timu and Daryl Halligan. They've got 3 players coming at him. Johnny Timu's keeping an eye on Laurie Daly. So he can't keep an eye on Matty Adamson as well. He hits that hole beautifully. I thought he gave it a little bit too soon to Wendell Saylor. But in the end, the fella the big black fella from the Brisbane Broncos goes in underneath the post. I think he goes to your hairdresser, Wally, doesn't he?
I tell you what, that's the thing that annoys me. People that have got hair and don't want it. There are fellas that haven't got it and will pay anything to get it. A very important set of 6 tackles coming up.
Yeah, well, let's get back to the football and not the fashion stakes. It's Pongia. About 18 metres out from the line. His own line. Barnett. He is one player that can turn things around. Very dangerous from broken play, Richie Barnett.
Well, they nearly got Australia there on that short side. They're only playing up with a slide defence. And Richie Barnett could have been 4-on-3 there very easily.
Well, turned over possession, which could be, this could be lethal, just 8 minutes from time.
And New Zealand have fallen off 16 tackles. They're going to have to get their defensive line in order here. Another try, and it could be all over. Now it's Adamson. Right in front of the uprights. Howe storming onto it. Got the ball out the back door. That was great work. Numbers out wide. Langer gets the kick in behind the line. Furner's giving chase. Barnett got there first. It was almost a hat-trick to Furner.
That was terrific work from Barnett. Gee, he's tell you what, he's had the foot flat to the floor. He's come from nowhere. It looked like Saylor was going to be the first one to get it, and we had Furner. He wanted to put 3 on the list. That's almost illegal. Second row of scoring 3 tries in a test match. But he's done wonderfully well. That little bit of extra effort from Barnett on that occasion really has given New Zealand a bit more hope. A 22-point deficit at half-time really would be very difficult to overcome.
Nagus. Well, there's nothing wrong with the debuts out there tonight for the Australians. They haven't been overawed at all, especially this young man here, Gower. He's been mixing it. Now it's another opportunity for Australia to ram home the advantage. Girdler out wide, trying to get the Fenn going. He was taken by Jones. Daly spreading it wide. Lazarus takes him on. The big man. Pull down, 5 metres out. Gower at dummy half.
A shot on that left-hand side again.
But it's Langer trying to step his way through. ET got it back. Adamson turning in the tackle. Back to Smith. Now it's Wendell Saylor who's got a double. Great stuff, Australia. Too good on the short side. And the green and gold flags are certainly waving at the Sydney Football Stadium. 20 points to 0. Australia over a stunned New Zealand.
And very excited the boys may well be. But we'll be using this statement more than once, I believe, tonight, Gary. Short on that left-hand side. As we look at the screen, it's the right-hand side. New Zealand's left-hand side in their defence. But really, they had 3-on-3, came to 4-on-3 defenders there. Just not the opportunity for men to file man-on-man. When they come in, it makes it very, very impossible
You watch
to cover the unmarked players.
You watch the big fella. Alfie throws a dummy inside. Seen them starting to slide. But again, it's the big fella, Matty Adams, who's had a great game. ET gets the ball away beautifully here. Watch Matty holds up 2 players, and Tony Iro and John Timu. He just slips the ball there. It's just catch and pass from there on. And Wendell Saylor once again. He's very, very happy.
Saylor will be thinking, how long has this been going on? I've scored 2 tries and haven't had a hand laid on me. So a double for the Brisbane Bronco. Furner got the other 2. And Girdler will try and add an extra 2 points. Off the uprights, waved away. Bit of a let-off for New Zealand there, but it's Australia. 20 points to 0, Jacko.
Yeah, they just can't wrap up the ball carry. That's 3 offloads in that one, and that one tackle from the Australians. Alfie got one, Adamson got one, and someone else got one, but there he is, Wendell Saylor. Saylor, as you said, he hasn't had a hand laid on him. He's laughing. How easy is this? We might have to come out in the second half, one arm tied behind our back, Gary.
Oh, I don't think you need to do that, Jacko.
Well, it's just this next set of 6 tackles. This is the one that's been detrimental to the Kiwis. The last 3 tries that have been scored, they've turned over possession almost in the first set of 6 and given Australia the ball 20 to 25 metres out from the try line.
You can't do that in any sort of game that you're playing against Australia, whether it be a test match or a game of tiddlywinks. You've got to make sure you do control that ball.
Arrow dummy half. Kearney, possession. And all Australia, 64%. Great defence by the Australians. Rodney Howard was, but he's been penalised.
Well, this here might just turn things around.
New Zealand have spent 75% of the first half so far in their own half. You cannot win a test match like that. 4-2. New Zealand the penalty, so they're leading in something. 32 out from the Australian line. Vangana. Is there a little bit of Kiwi magic close to half-time? Kearney, the skipper, trying to get something going.
Yeah,
but it was one out stuff.
Yeah, one out stuff. I think they've got to start backing each other up just a little bit around that ruck area.
Nikau left it behind. Picked up by Wiki. He's wrapped up. 4th tackle. They go wide this time, and Iro is out there. The inside pass to Barnett. 11 from the try line. Final tackle. Namu kicking in. Came off the legs of Lazarus. He controlled it pretty well, soccer style. Dives on the ball and saves a day for Australia.
I think Pele would have been happy with that one.
Sailor, 15 out from his own line.
New Zealand have really got to defend now, not let them get out their own 50.
Girdler on his own out wide. An easy target for Wiki. Adamson making the most of his test debut. Langer. The kick clears Barnett's head, but the fullback picks it up, 15 out from his own line. Oh, not a great pass. Halligan cleans up though. And that's good defence by Darren Smith.
A little bit unlucky there. Richie Barnett really playing the unders very well. But John Timu, just getting in the road of the pass.
Stand with me. Look at me, stand with me.
So Hoppy plays it back to Kearney.
That's 3, lead.
20 from halfway. Namu. Jones, Nikau. Out wide it goes. And that's John Timu. Great defence over there though. E.T. drove him into the turf. 10 from halfway. Barnett. Taken ball and all by Howe. Lazo flies over the top of him just for good measure. The kick by Namu. Bit of a mix-up back there, but Peachy has control of it, taken by Hoppy.
We'll take the tackle.
Well, who gets credited with the tackle? Penalty. Kearney's been called out.
Come here, come here. Right? Let's just be sensible about what we're doing. Right? Put your hands down. Right.
Well, I don't think the tackle was that bad, but something the Kiwis can't afford to do is give away penalties like this.
Crowd counting down to seconds. Langer got a bad pass. The siren sounds for half-time. The final kick of the first half. Halligan under a bit of pressure, takes it well running back. So that is the end of the first 40 at the Sydney Football Stadium. The opening 20 was even Stevens, but a real onslaught by the men from Australia. Sees them lead by 20 points to 0. 2 tries to David Furner, 2 to Wendell Sailor. Girdler's kicked 2 from 4. Well, Gary Freeman, you've been in this position before. New Zealand trailing at half-time. We won't write them off, but, gee, it's really going to be a big one for them in the second half.
It certainly is going to be a lot tougher now in the second half, especially by 20 points down. But I think the big thing is that they've controlled the ball well, but again, it's our defence that's let the boys down, especially out wide on our left-hand side, the Australians' right-hand side. They keep playing to that edge of the field, and they're just getting us all the time.
So that's the scoreline as they go to the break. 20 points to 0 Australia over New Zealand. So Laurie Daly leads the Australians out of the dressing room at half-time. 40 minutes away from what will be an emphatic victory if they can carry on the momentum. 4 tries to none in the first half. Really not a poor performance looking at the Australian performance in that first half and the individuals concerned.
Oh, certainly not. No poor performance for the Australian side. And I don't think there's been a poor performer really for the New Zealand side, except for their missed tackles. As you can see, 21 up against 9. They would be a little bit disappointed. Again, that relates down to possession. And you see Australia's had plenty of that. And if they do that, they're going to put points on the board. Once again, time their own half. Well, hey, it all relates to missed tackles, possession, all the rest of it. You know, penalties is, again, going with us, but errors. Well, all the things that we don't need to go wrong are going wrong.
So Gary Freeman hasn't given up hope of a New Zealand comeback here. Peter Jackson, what's the word from the dressing sheds at half-time?
Well, as you can imagine, Johnny Lang's pretty happy with his charges. He just wants more of the same, more tries, more goals, more tackles. Simple as that. As far as the Kiwis go, a lot of talk in there about the Kiwi pride. They can't be belted in this game. They've obviously got to control the ball a bit better and organise their defence on the left-hand side of the field. Particularly, that's where they've been short on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, Wendell Saylor having a field day over on that flank. Matt Adamson, great introduction to Test football. Had a hand in a couple of tries after coming on. Stephen Kearney, well, a lot resting on the big man's shoulders in the second half. Gene Namu getting things ready for a restart.
Maybe it's time to introduce some of the new blokes like Ropati or Robbie Paul. We've seen a lot of them in England. Be a Test debut today if he can get on the field, and pretty classy player when he plays over there in the old dart. I'd like to see him get on the field here.
Stuart Cummings from Widnes, the man in control, gets things underway. Fingertip control by Laurie Daly. And he found Matt Adamson running onto it, 15 out. So the second 40 underway. Furner, what a great first half he had. Probably can't believe it, a double in only his second Test match. Rodney Howe, living up to his reputation this year. One of the best hit-up merchants in the game. So too is this man, Lazarus. He's 10 from halfway. Gower. That's better defence, and it took Pongia to drive the shoulder in on Matt Adamson. The Kiwis need more of that. Langer got the kick in, only just. Barnett was in great position. But look at the chase by the Australians. Out to Halligan. Halligan on Saylor. And Halligan plays it 15 from halfway. Penalty.
10 fellas, you're all stood in front. 1, 2, 3, take your pick. In front.
Australians a little too enthusiastic on that occasion. Inside the 10. Well, the chance here for the New Zealanders is to mount some real pressure on attack. Desperate for points. Vangana needs to run onto that ball a lot faster than that. Jones. Pongia. 20 metres out in front of the uprights. Kearney. It's one out stuff though. No real support there. And a player like Kearney needs players off his hip. They go wide. Wiki inside to Timu. He runs into a bit of a brick wall there. Plenty of traffic. Taken by Daly. Namu to Jones. Nikau out wide. Noah Nikau with a good ball to Iro. They keep it alive. Barnett a chance here. But he's wrapped up. Oh, that was a great tackle by Kenny Nagas. Final tackle coming up. Sloppy played the ball. But they've got a chance on the short side. But no, Pongia can't sneak across. The Australian defence holds on.
They're very unlucky there, the Kiwi side. They really had the Australians rattled. I think the Australians think they've got this game won already. There's another half to be played yet.
Howe, about 15 out from his own line.
On the ball.
The Kiwis haven't been able to pin the Australians inside their own red zone so far.
Make it. Sid, make it.
Langer. Daly. Peachy up from fullback. Intercept! And here's the first try to New Zealand. Stacey Jones gets the first 4-pointer. for the Kiwis against the run of play, but they all count. Is this the start of the comeback? 20 points to 4 now. And Gary Freeman, you look at a relieved man.
Well, I don't know about the relieved man, but I tell you what, I think the Australians think they've got this game already. It's a sure thing that the Kiwis can bounce back, and Peachy trying to drift across. Stacey Jones puts himself in a beautiful little hole there and says thank you very much, and scores a good welcome try for the Kiwis.
Yeah, just trying to force a little bit, David Peachy. Probably, as you said, Gary, a little relaxed with that 20-0 lead at half-time, and that was a mistake he'll rue. And Stacey Jones does the rest quite easily. Can the Kiwis come back from here? They only need another 4 of those tries.
Well, actually, Jacko, I know you didn't do much maths at school. It only works out to 3. 6 threes are 18, aren't they? And then just a little conversion where Halligan will make it 20.
71% in 97, Halligan. His 15th test. He's got it. He adds the extra 2. So things looking a bit better now for the Kiwis. Australia still in control though, 20 points to 6. Stacey Jones, his 3rd try in test matches. A good confidence boost for the visitors. But that's a shocker.
Well, that's one thing we didn't need. Penalty right from the kickoff and the return of a great try.
So all of a sudden the tide turns again. Australia with this penalty will have no trouble getting deep into New Zealand territory. The left-footed kick by Adamson finds touch. They're 30 metres out from the New Zealand line. Howe got the pass away. Eddingshausen right in front of the uprights. 21 metres out. Options either side. Penalty to Australia.
Whoa, wait. I'll see you miles in front of me. Get back with it. Here it is. It's offside. Second shot. Not the shot. Miles in front of me,
take the 2.
Miles in front. I'm okay, mate.
New Zealanders miles in front. That's the call from Stuart Cummings. Penalties now 5 apiece.
You lot as well, fellas. Australia.
An easy 2 for Ryan Girdler. What do you think about this tactic, Jacko?
Well, kicking goals, I think it's a good one. It's been around for a while.
Exactly, but when you're leading with the momentum going as well, I was referring to. Momentum going.
The Laurie Daly was pretty keen to get a quick tap in there, but the referee obviously pulled it up and the momentum had gone by then, so I think it was a wise decision. But Alfie would have been happy with a quick tap because he loves him. If they want to score some points, New Zealand, I think they should get Robbie Paul on the field. I haven't seen a great deal of him. You've probably seen a bit more, Gary, but he can play the game.
Yeah, we've been watching him playing over in England, that's for sure, Jacko. He can play the game and he's an elusive runner. I think, but who do you take off? That is the problem.
Girdler gets another 2. Yes, goal kicking's been around for a long time. And it's another 2 on the board. 22 points to 6. Will we see an introduction from the interchange bench before too long? Possession all Australia's way at the moment, 60 to 40.
Down and stand clear. Make sure you stand clear.
Pongia, 20 metres out from his own line. Eru. Jones waits for the dummy half. Big Joe Vangana. Nikau storming onto it. That's 4 hit-ups by the New Zealanders. And Iro, line ball, play on. Kearney, he needed support and arrived too late. Final tackle coming up, penalty.
Come on. You've got to stand away. You've got to roll out of there, otherwise you're going to go with him all the time. Stand up. Make sure you stand up. Now, when you stand up for the ball, McClure. Stand away, fellas. There's no doubt then.
saw Darryl Halligan's going up there to take a kick at goal. I thought it would have been not a bad option for them. But another good set of 6 here for the Kiwis might result in another try.
Pongi at the short ball to Iro. 22 points to 6 in front of the uprights. Namu with the switch of play to Jones. Puts the foot on the gas. Again, the support overran him. 5 from... Oh, well, that's a terrible mistake again by New Zealand. He did not play the ball correctly.
Stand up and play the ball.
Stacey Jones be a little bit disappointed here. Made a good little half break there and then just didn't get up to play the ball. Great opportunity there. Gone begging for the Kiwis to get some more points on the board.
And he must have been listening to us, Frank Endicott, because Robbie Paul's just replaced Gene Namu.
Errors going against New Zealand. Ebbingshausen taken by his Cronulla teammate Namu. It's a breather on the bench. Ferner! The one-handed pass. The cover got to Girdler. Now it's Nagus. Or is it Peachy? No, Nagus it is. Driven back in the tackle, but he was allowed to offload. Darren Smith goes forward. Almost out of the tackle. Kearney just managed to hold on.
Get your hands out of there. Get your hands out of there. Just stand clear, there's no doubt. Come on. You know the story. Hands in.
So he wants to clear the run.
We had a good half first half. Let's keep it clear. Stand up, stand away.
Doing a lot of talking out there, Cummings at the moment, and Adamson finding touch.
A little bit different from the first half, that's for sure. There's been 4 or 5 penalties. You see the penalties here, 7, 6 to Australia, but 4 or 5 penalties in the first 15 minutes of this game.
Howe, 10 out from the line. 4 tries to 1. Australia over New Zealand, 22 points to 6. And Lazarus well and truly inside the New Zealand red zone. Gower from dummy half, thought he spotted a gap. The ball was stolen though, and that's allowed one-on-one. Good work, Tony Iro. And so the Kiwis have a 10 out from their own line.
Stand away. Come on. You're doing the same. Just stand clear then, there's no doubt.
And Laurie just thought he might have worn just a little bit of an elbow in there as he moved in. Obviously the referee, it was just adjusting his jersey. A couple of crumples in it, straightening them out. But the referee doing quite a good job. I mean, he's made a decision that he's going to penalise the players for a particular infringement, and he's sticking by it.
Great run, Pongia.
He's had a great game.
10 from halfway. Whangana. Jones. Iro is out wide. The inside pass to Robbie Paul, making his debut, the 21-year-old from Bradford. The only Kiwi playing in the UK required for this test match. Stacey Jones gets the dummy going, trying to link up with his outside support. Over the top it goes to Timu. He ran out of room. Was an easy target in the end for Sailor. Hongia, Nikau to Kearney. Basketball pass over the top. The bounce is a good one, but it's gone forward. They've been called back.
Come forward there, fellas. I call it. Let's wait and see where the ball ended up, that's all. Right, I'll look at it.
Yeah, and a fine line between pleasure and pain. Couldn't have been too much in that at all. Play had have gone on. Sean Hoppy looked like he was in a situation where another 4 points could have been on the board for the Kiwis.
With the flag! With the flag!
No doubt Gary Freeman thought the pass was okay.
No need to ask me.
The Australians 20 out from their own line. Adamson. Peachy at dummy half finds Howe. Back inside to Peachy. Back to Sailor. Sailor stepping on the inside. So dangerous is Wendell Saylor. He already has a double for Australia tonight. ET at dummy half. Langer has to go wide. Daly ran onto it well. Girdler couldn't get away from Jones, but got a great pass away to Nagas. They keep it alive, the Australians. This is great work. Beautiful stuff now. Daly, backing up brilliantly was Eddinghausen. Looking for Saylor on the inside, but that time it was Vangana that saved the day for New Zealand. Talk about putting it through the hands.
A couple of passes back there. I thought the ball was forward.
Yeah,
good cover by Vangana to get over there.
Iro. Wiki. Kearney, the skipper. Eru saw that there was an easy 10 to be picked up from dummy half. A player down in back play for Australia. Jones. Stacey Jones puts a foot on the gas. The little legs are pumping. Peachy comes at him. The support on the inside. But the Australians are going to come up with it. But Nagas is in an offside position. He couldn't touch the ball. What's the call?
It's going to be zero tackle when we start. We get that fella sorted out up there, okay?
Oh, it's so close for New Zealand.
I don't know whether the Kiwis will agree with this one. Now, naturally, we've got to play common sense. Howe's down. He's been injured. A magnificent sidestep. Probably one of the few occasions that the Australian slide defence has been failing on the inside. It was a real contest, these two. One was taking 300 RPMs. The other bloke took about 15 strides over the next 40 metres. They had the opportunity there, the Kiwis, to perhaps attack against a fairly fragile Australian defence, only around about 6 or 7 back in the line. But the referee obviously taking the call from the touch judges, who'd been signalling for some time that Rodney Howe is injured. Looks like he's got a fairly big split in the middle of his head there, deciding to go off.
Well, the Kiwis really decided to throw the ball and it's catching the Australians napping. When they're lucky here, Stacey Jones has had a great run down there.
Well, this is bad news for Rodney Howe. But it means the introduction into this test match of Solomon Haumono making his debut for Australia. Not a bad replacement to have Howe go off and the juggernaut Haumono come on.
Finally, you'd be happy that Rodney Howe isn't going to continue his charges, but have a look who comes on.
But the Kiwis have got another set of 6 and they've coughed it up on the first tackle. It was a 0 tackle after Hoppy retrieved the football before the stoppage in play. And that was a terrible pass, a real mix-up. And the error is now going against the New Zealanders. 10-4. Nagas, 25 out from his own line.
When you have Australia there, you've got to make them pay. You can't go around making mistakes on that and let them make it easy yardage out.
Again, it probably works out how expensive the stoppage in play turned out to be for the Kiwis.
Saylor, still 25 out from his own line. Daly is there, gets the kick in. Barnett is back there. Been in position all night, Richard Barnett, usually a winger, filling in the number 1 jersey. Now it's Hoppy. Ruben Wiki. Jones to Nikau. Got the ball away. That's play on. It came off Pongia's legs. So the bounce of the ball going with the Kiwis on that occasion. Here's Robbie Paul, the man that can weave a little bit of magic, Jacko.
He certainly can. His brother Henry's not a bad player as well, but the luck going with the Kiwis, we might have seen a little bit of a turnaround in this last 5 minutes.
Jones, he's been brilliant in the second half. Ran away from the inside support, but they keep it alive. Halligan with the run to the corner. Halligan gets there. The Kiwis aren't done yet. Darryl Halligan, he scores his 3rd try in a test match. Just what the New Zealanders needed. 22-10.
And a smart try it was too from Halligan. Jacko mentioned about the luck. Well, you make your own luck in test match football. The ball being transferred through a couple of sets of hands. The ball coming out extremely well tipped on. The ball coming out to Halligan, who did smart. He ducked his head underneath. Obviously, coming across, Wendell Saylor was going to try and use his weight and both their size to push them across.
And
But he
Stacey
did it
Jones
well.
once again, Wally, just going forward. They had Richard Barnett backing him up. Beats Peachy here. I thought everything was going to die here, but once again, the Kiwi players just backing each other up. As you said, the ball on here to John Timu, who picks up Halligan, throws the dummy inside. Like you said, going underneath a tackle that should have been made by Wendell, had him lined up. The big fellow put his head down and then, oh, there it is. Thank you.
And now Halligan will try and convert his own try. Late call up into the team and Ridge was ruled out. Barnett went from the wing back to fullback. Halligan got the call up again. A metre in from touch. Struck it pretty well. He likes it, so do the touch judges. They're well and truly back here now. 22 points to 12. 10 points, Jacko. How are you feeling now?
I'm still pretty confident, but this is a great try. Stacey Jones, as you said, he's having an absolute blinder in this second half. That's about his third or fourth clean break that he's made. He finally gets it on. There he is, Richard Barnett on the inside backing up. Johnny Timu's out there, as is Daryl Halligan. And it was the important pass, that one from Stacey Jones. And a missed tackle by Wendell Saylor. They're back in at the Kiwis. You've been laughing, Gary Freeman.
It's not over yet, Jacko.
Wendell Saylor, 22 out from the Australian line. Hal Mono, just 21 years of age. Lazarus. About 9 from halfway. Thorne is back out there. He's had a good breather, Brad Thorne. On the halfway mark. Langer finds some open spaces. Hoppy picks it up inside his red zone. Girdler the tackler. Barnett. Hoppy out of one. Bit of room to move. Good run, short Hoppy. Jones. Iro. Timu. Taken by Saylor. Here's a penalty.
Well, he's been penalised for stripping the ball. The one-on-one rule, of course.
Tackles down, pull the ball.
Coming into the game, it appeared as though it only was that way. But,
Second 10.
well, referees are fairly hard to disagree with after you're already back tucking into your second tackle from the penalty.
Wagner.
Right, clear!
I never knew you would agree with the referee, Wally.
I never said that, Jacko. I said they were difficult.
Hongia.
Get out of there! Move!
Kearney.
Clear!
Few settling runs. Now they go wide through Jones. A double round with Iro back to Jones, and the pass has gone behind. Barnett had to retrieve it. Taken by Eddingshausen and also Langer. Jones, the kick, the chase, but the bounce was good for Peachy. He was taken by Paul. Knocked back. Lucky escape for the Australians, and Gower will play it.
Yeah, and I think that mistake has probably opened up a little bit of a point for the Australians at the moment. The last 3 rucks haven't been taken up by a forward. Laurie Daly took it up to turnover possession, then he decided after dropping it that he had to take another one. Amono coming in, but they really have got to start taking some territory with their big 5.
Turner. That's the 30-metre mark. Langer. A big hole for Langer. Was he taken out? It won't matter. His Brisbane Bronco teammate Darren Smith will get the try. The Kiwis went to sleep around the ruck. 26-12. Australia in again under the black dot.
Well, the speed of the game responsible for that one. A defender still laying on the ground kept the Kiwis with just one marker, Langer will attack that all the time going. Knew that he had the opportunity. If one thing disappointing for the Kiwis, Gary, there was only 1 or 2 players making the real effort to get back and try and give some sort of assistance.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing there. Richie Barnett trying to, get the ball the last minute, but Darren Smith always backing up Alfie when he plays his home groundie. Watch Alfie go to the line here. Puts a little kick off the right-hand side.
And the Broncos, when they play, have a look at the 2 blokes that have gone in there. One of them has scored, Darren Smith. The other one just happened to wear the same club colours as well. Brad Thorne, the other player that could have picked the ball up and potted it down.
Well, I know when little Alfie's got the ball, he's going to do something with it, whether it's a kick or a pass. A bit of a dummy. And if they're there, they might score him.
Does look a little bit warm out there, doesn't it?
This test match has been played at pace. Girdler, 3 from 5. Right in front. He adds the extra 2. 28 points to 12. Jacko, the Aussies, on fire again.
Yeah, absolutely huge hole behind the ruck. One marker lying on the ground, big Joe Bungana, who's actually just been replaced, so he's been hooked. Alfie sees the gap up the middle. Away he goes, the little fella. He's had a great game tonight, Alfie. His form's been a little scratchy in recent weeks, and Darren Smith's the man there, his Bronco teammate, to put it down underneath the post.
It's taken a while for Darren Smith to get the call up into an Australian team, 28 years of age, but he'll remember his debut after dotting that down. Now, Brad Young is back on there, number 8. Vangana has the spell.
Just some news on Rodney Howe. He has got a crook knee, not a crook head, a crook knee, and he won't be back.
Solomon Halmono will play out the match, no doubt. Get a bit of time on the park. Jones, Young, out the back door, Barnett. About 10 from halfway. Wiki. Final tackle. 16 minutes remaining.
Australia, Kiwi ball. Yeah, here we go, fellas. Kiwi ball in here.
A bit of luck there for the Kiwis. They get the feed into the scrum.
The charge down coming off Smith. Well, what an option you've got there. Do you decide to let the ball bounce and hope the referee's going to call it as the player not making a play at the ball? Girdler carrying the disappointment of the ball coming off him. I guess you got to do when the speed of the game is
Let him in, fellas. Come on.
as it has been played tonight.
See Steve Cooney there helping young Gower to put his head in the scrum there, which is nice of him.
Just a gentle tap. Now it's Barnett trying to find a hole through that Australian defence out wide. Couldn't get away from Daly though. Paul, Robbie Paul, Halligan on Peachy. Peachy was up to the task. Paul from dummy half. Tia Ropati is on there for John Timu. They work and move the Kiwis. Switch of play, and Kearney is 10 out from the line. Eru at dummy half. Dekow trying to step. They didn't fall for it though, the Australians. Right in front of the uprights. Jones. Long ball to Iro. Calling the players on the inside. Wiki, a couple of metres out. Final tackle coming up. There's Tia Ropati. Kicked it straight into the arms of Laurie Daly. I'll tell you what, Mark Waugh, standing at first or second slip, would have loved that one.
And Laurie Daly caught it, and the expression on his face was almost to say, geez, did you have to kick it to me? Give it to someone else. But I'm sure the coach, John Lang, will be very happy it went to one of his players. Could have put extreme pressure. The ball going straight to Laurie, catching it left-handed in the slips there.
Yeah, a little bit disappointed. I think Tia Ropati probably should have gone to the line a little bit further and then tried to put the ball in because there was no one at home.
So they're 10 from halfway. Halmono taking plenty of stopping. Gower dummy half to Langer. Ferner almost to halfway. Tyron Smith, the North Queensland Cowboy, warming up on the sideline for the Kiwis. Daly. Lazarus was flat-footed. Got a great ball back to Daly. Daly on to Girdler. The double round. Good skills there as far as the handling goes. And Solomon Halmono on the final tackle. Langer. Ferner. They need to keep it alive. There's the kick by Darren Smith. Hoppy with no pressure on, but he'll have to do well to get out of there. He can't. So the Australians will get another crack at them.
Gee, and that's smart thinking there from Smith. I expected to see the Australians kick the ball wide on the other side of the field. When Langer got caught, he thought, well, I'm not much chance of beating 4 or 5 defenders in front of me. I think I'll just try and make the Kiwis suffer from this a little bit by giving ourselves another set of 6 tackles to attack. Probably by the time the ball's caught from the drop out and run up, they'll only be about 30 metres out from the line.
A restart by Halligan. Now this is Storm. Good return of the football by the second rower. Halmono taking plenty of stopping. 10 out from the line. The Australians looking dangerous again. Inside pass, Peachy finds E.T. Gower. Gower with the step. Gower gets the try on debut. And that might be the ball game now. 38 points to 12. Make it 36 to 12 with the kick to come. I'll get it right third time, right? 32 to 12.
And Australia's inside passes have been the ones that have been critical all night long. The slide defence worked very well on that occasion. 3 Kiwis walked up, but look back, there's another 3 or 4. Admittedly, they were in a very straight line. They've done quite well. But I think this bloke here has got a little bit of extra petrol on board tonight. The first test match, there's nothing like scoring a try in that first one.
Yeah, one thing the Kiwis didn't do is cover from the open side right across to the blind. You see, he gets the ball away here to Gower, and he just spots a little gap. There's no one even Kiwi on to back him up. Steps around Quinton, who's had a great game tonight. And then really, Richard Barnett does his best along with Robbie Paul.
Didn't he?
And just gets the ball down one-handed. A good effort by Gower.
Well, he copped a knock there, and he's in the blood bin.
I think he'd still be pretty happy anyway about scoring the try. Gives a chance for Paul Green to come onto the field now.
Girdler trying to convert his Penrith Panthers try, teammates try. Off the uprights, it bounces over the crossbar. It's 2 points, 34 points to 12. Gower, Jacko, he turns 19 this week. What a week he's having.
Yeah, he's a fantastic young player. He does get a whack in the melon from Tia Ropati there. Didn't feel it at the time, and he's up, but he's off in the blood bin. But there was a lot of discussion about Craig Gower's selection in the Australian side. Of course, a lot of people suggesting Steve Wilders, who's been one or if not the best hooker in the game, should have been in the side. But Craig Gower got a start, and I'd say he's had a fantastic game tonight, culminating in a great try.
And with just 10 minutes to go, we see another replacement for the Australians. David Peachy coming off, giving Julian O'Neill the opportunity to post his proudest moment in rugby league.
Missed tackles, the Kiwis who've fallen off 31, almost twice as many as the Australians, as Robbie Paul tries to get something going for New Zealand. The inside pass to Barnett, 35 out from the New Zealand line. Ika teaming up with Young. He's 10 from halfway. Ongia, Tia Ropati, the veteran of this New Zealand team at 32 years of age. That is the halfway mark. Tyron Smith plays it. Jones with the kick. Sailor allowed it to run into touch. Australia will get the feed into the scrum. 10 out from their own line. They look a little tired down there, Jacko.
Yeah, plenty of replacements now. There's Grant Young just coming off. He's had a fair game tonight. But it's all over for the Kiwis, I'm afraid. The Australians far too strong in every department. They had a little bit of a resurgence, the Kiwis, but it wasn't enough. A great win to the Australian side.
6 tries to 2 so far. This man has a double, Wendell Saylor. Ferner is a double. Darren Smith and Craig Gow, 1 apiece. Brad Thorne, the man that wanted to be an All Black as a kid, now he finds himself playing for Australian Rugby League. Work that one out. Lazarus, the big man, still going. Paul Green, that dummy half to Langer. Langer with the little kick, the chase, brilliantly picked up. Langer with the dummy, another dummy. Elfie, he ran out of room.
And ran out of legs.
I think that's the first bit ran out of.
Green got the pass away to O'Neill.
Gee, I tell you what, there was one bloke that saved a fair try for them on that occasion, Tyron Smith. The Kiwi defence looked shot. The Australians had to get the ball out. There's that Langer kick. The ball sits up for him very well. 4 dummies and a... Well, I won't drop the line, but he did extremely well. But they've done remarkably well there, the Kiwis. Not trying to throw sympathy there, but they did very well to keep the Australians from scoring that try.
Wiki. Just under 7 minutes remaining. Kearney. Bit of variation from the New Zealanders. It didn't come off, and Lazarus was back there. But now it comes off for the New Zealanders. They've got it back again. Barnett, open spaces. Picks up Robbie Paul on debut, and the man from Bradford, who's heading to Wembley in the next week or so for the Challenge Cup final, gets a try in his first test for New Zealand. Robbie Paul puts a little bit of respectability back into the scoreline.
And the tries come from a little bit of an error from the Australians. A chip kick going back on the inside. Lazarus picked the ball up, shot the ball out to one of his teammates who I don't think really called for it. Laurie Daly it turned out to be. The Kiwis had the opportunity to spread the ball wide, and spread it they did. Showing plenty of toe too, Paul, on that occasion. A lot of Australians haven't had the opportunity to see a lot of him.
I wasn't too sure if Lazo was thinking he was going to get the ball there, but Tero Barty put a lot of pressure on the Australian defence there, and Richard Barnett just fades across the paddock, and then just Paul runs her in a beautiful hole. There's no way anyone was going to stop him. I think Julian O'Neill gave up about 5 metres back.
Halligan, a couple of metres in from the far touch. It's waved away. 34 points to 16. 5 minutes remaining, Jacko.
Yeah, Richie Barnett showing great footwork here. Stepped past a few players. Robbie Paul hits the ball at pace. As you said, he's got plenty of toe. Big Julian O'Neill coming across, but he can't get there. But that was one of the worst passes I've ever seen from Glenn Lazarus, if not the worst.
Again, a bit of variation from the New Zealanders playing catch-up football. Didn't come off the short kick-off. And the Australians have it through Smith.
Yeah, it's good football, though. They've got to do that. They can't just offer the opportunity to the Australians to wrap it up and wrap time up.
A lot was made of the New Zealand back row. Many critics said that the back three, Iro, Kearney and Nico, probably the best the New Zealanders have ever fielded in a test match, but really Brad Thorne, Ferner and Smith for Australia, they've been equal to them.
Yeah, well, Ferner's been sensational in this game. I think the hardest part from him has been not worrying about passing the ball for somebody else to score a try. And that's remarkable refereeing. I'm not sure whether we'll see it on the wide shot from here, but this guy was running backwards. He turned himself inside out where he saw the pass. Adamson was throwing the ball off to E.T. Couldn't quite see it from there, but the referee almost turned himself inside out and judged where the ball was thrown and where it was caught. There he was turning backwards. Have a look where he's had to judge that now. He's 5 or 6 metres the other side of where the ball was and running backwards.
And it wasn't forward either.
So it was also no avail, was it?
I knew someone had to say that.
Well, now it's Barnett.
Make it, Jimmy, fellas, make it. Make it.
Now, I'm not sure whether we'll get the opportunity to see it in this set of 6 tackles, but I think one of the bonuses for the Australian side in this match has been coach John Lang. Now, he's got on board at club level Nick Howe, who is a very, very good right-hand offloader. He does it remarkably for Cronulla. Lang probably knows that as much as anybody else, and every time Nick Howe looks to have run the ball, the players look to go to his right arm first to worry about wrapping up the ball first before they concentrate on actually affecting the tackle.
Jones, they're going backwards. Now Iro goes sideways, gets a left-footed kick in, and it bounces into touch. Nothing much on there. Iro finding touch though. Australia will get the feed into the scrum.
Yeah, Tony Iro trying to put the ball over for the winger, but the problem was the winger had gone infield anyway. There's Darryl there, but no way the ball was going to bounce inside the line. Over the touch line once again.
Well, it's probably closing down to a little bit of a slow finish, but I think a lot of the Kiwi guys can certainly hold their head high. Richie Barnett has worked very, very well, but the 2 players that I thought have been worth their weight in gold have been Stacey Jones and Grant Young. A lot of people believe that he may have been a little bit of a problem, a gamble for them, but gee, he's done enough work out there to impress every selector, including the Australian ones.
Yeah, I think you got to take your hat off too. You see the break here by Julian O'Neill, tries to flick the ball back inside the Ryan Girdler, just knocks it on there, and the Kiwis will get the ball and feed in this scrum. But Quinton Ponga, I think he's one of the players in the forward pack there who has gone forward and done a lot of damage in defence.
Get him loose, get him loose.
Gary, the Kiwis having a final fling through Jones inside to Hoppy. Hoppy will get the last say of this test match as far as the scoring goes. The most capped Kiwi, his 24th test match, and that's his 13th try. It's not lucky 13 tonight for his country, but he gets something to take home.
Mate, we've just been giving them credit for that last kickoff. They're still trying, putting scrum moves on. There's not a hell of a lot of them used in football these days. They've used it down the short side, which is the most difficult part of the football field, to have it as a successful move.
Yeah, it's certainly there. You see Tawera taking Alfie out, and Stacey Jones does a great job here in convincing Nagus that to come with him, and Hoppy comes inside, and no one ready to beat. Smitty gone across field, but just gone too far.
He scored between the post. Halligan adds the extra 2. So, scoreline now 34 points to 22. Again, the short kickoff. They contest it well. Barnett rose above them.
Don't know if John Lang would be happy with him catching that ball or not.
Jones, they're not finished yet as far as the scoring goes, the Kiwis. Oh, big hit by Halmono, but he got the pass was still thrown out the back door, and they still keep it alive. Tia Rowe party taken by Lazarus, 20 out from the line. Inside the last minute or so, Nikau. They go wide. Wiki, Ruben Wiki. Out the back door, who was there? None other than Alan Langer. Did he call for it or what?
I'll bet that little pest called for it too. Well done.
It's all over. So the New Zealanders have outscored the Australians in the second half, scoring 4 tries to 2, but they lost it in that 20-minute period before half-time. The Australians led 20-0 at the break and have wrapped it up here, 34 points to 22. Some fine performances by the debutants in the Australian team and the experienced 4. Let's give them some credit. That man there, E.T., Andrew Eddinghausen, Alan Langer, Lazarus, and also Daly led the charge. In the end, they all got on for a taste of international football. They've been deprived of it since '94, but now they are back.